with the Prez, and we're going to talk some NFL football. I know that is really loud for this early in the morning, but we're going to talk football. But first, Prez wants to listen to some music.
During the NFL presidential address, people keep the music going, Kelly. Keep the music going. You know what? Let's listen to some more. I'm back. This is what we're going to do with Kelly Stewart. Well, for many reasons, I can't get into some. We'll have HR problems. But this lady knows her football probably better than me. And Kelly, I'm so excited to be doing this with you this year. We're going to go through every game top to bottom like we always do. I'm wearing my Toronto Maple Leaf jersey because even though we're starting football, it's about the Leafs in Toronto. Kel, we're going to have to find some rhythm this year because, you know, you host, you do a great job, you do all the other videos. But I am the co-founder and boss, and I can't shut up.
I'm going to let you be in charge, Prez. Don't you worry. I'm just going to fill in, be a contrarian where I can, maybe agree with you, where I also can find a little bit of value on some teams. So let's get it started.
Okay, before we get into that, I want to give out my coupon code last year, guys. I hit over 58% in the NFL. I've had 2 losing NFL seasons. In my life, I'm loving the season. I've done a ton of studying. I was up at the cottage. I was studying while jet skiing. There was a time when I had a book literally while I was skiing. I mean, I've just been completely glued to the NFL this summer. I'm tanned. I went to Israel, by the way. I went to Paris. What a city. I went to Amsterdam. I don't want to tell you what I did in Amsterdam, but I swear to you, I read a lot of NFL stuff in Amsterdam as well. I'm raring to go. You guys get a month of my NFL football for $99. It's a month. 30 days or 31, it's a month. For $99, go to WagerTalk.com. Use the promo code PrezNFL99. And Kelly, I love the backdrop behind you.
It's so pretty. I did a good job on it.
Yeah, you did. The way you hung it up, staples, I mean, good work, Kelly. You know, we need more music. I know you probably turned it off, but like next week, we got to have music like at you know, whenever I feel like, give me more music. Okay, let's go. Thursday night, Kelly. We've got, oh my God, I had a little computer glitch. Okay, we're back. Thursday night, we have Atlanta going into Philadelphia. The line is Philly minus 2.5. We know Nick Foles is playing. The over and under is 45. Kelly, I got a bet on this game at WagerTalk.com. It's a big bet. I insist all you guys take it. I will still give both side and total out on this game. But I am only betting one of them. I like Philadelphia minus the 2.5, and I also like over the total of 45 in this game. You know, we got to start again.
No, go ahead. We'll just edit it. Go ahead. We'll just edit it. You're good. Go.
Okay. Kelly, let's get to it. Philadelphia hosting Atlanta on Thursday night. Look, I'm not going to talk about this game because I got a bet up at WagerTalk. It's one of my favorite plays of the week. So with no disrespect to my loyal listeners, we're going to move on from this game because I don't want to give it away. And I do this for a living, Kelly. It's how I pay the bills. I got 2 daughters. One's about to go to college. Both of them cost me a damn fortune. I just got divorced a year ago. Namaste. Best thing that ever happened to me. If I could pay it forward to my listeners, if you feel old, I'm 49. I know with this head of hair, you'd never think that. If I could pay it forward to my listeners just to hijack the show real quick, if you're feeling old, you're going through a midlife crisis, you're getting a little bit of a belly, you're not looking as good or feeling as good as you always felt, there's an easy, quick fix. get divorced. It is like, I'm free. Okay.
Oh, God. I thought this was like an ad for a low testosterone commercial for a second.
Yeah. And also call 1-900-623. Dahlia will be waiting for you. Kelly, Sunday, lots of games. Cleveland +4 against Pittsburgh. The over and under is 46. Look, Cleveland played Pittsburgh super tight last year, and that was with no quarterback. I think this Cleveland team is going to be better than most people think. I see 5 wins in their season this year. And, I wouldn't be absolutely blown away if they came out of this game with a win. I think Pittsburgh is light years ahead of every team in that division. I think you're going to see Pittsburgh have a real shot at getting to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to take Cleveland plus the 4 points in this game. We got Minnesota hosting San Fran this week. Minnesota is -6. The over and under is 46 in this game. Look, I lean on the under in this game, and I also like Minnesota. I'm not as high on San Fran as some people think. They really don't have any wide receivers. Losing McKinnon was a huge deal. And I think Minnesota is the class of the NFC. Them and the Rams are going to be light years ahead of most teams. So I'm going to take Minnesota -6. I'm also going to take under the total of 46. I actually think San Fran is going to struggle to score. Next, we've got Indianapolis at -3. The over and under in this game, is 48.5. I think Cincinnati is going to be better than most people think this year. I still think they've got weapons. The running back, Mixon, looks great. A.J. Green. Dalton is completely inconsistent, but we've seen him put some really good games together. And this is Luck's first game in a long time. I'm going to take the dog here, Cincinnati at +3, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes over the total of 48.5 points. And then we've got Buffalo at +7 going into Baltimore. Peterson announced as the starter. I think Baltimore, there are some people that are pretty high on Baltimore, and I don't really get it. I mean, can you name their running back? Who the hell is catching the ball? What's the name of the tight end? Joe Flacco? This guy has pulled an Eli Manning, and he's done it like 2 years in a row. The over and under is 40.5 in this game. If I'm going to bet this game, I'm going to take Buffalo, but I do like the under more. Before we get into Jacksonville and the Giants, I do want to give some breathing room, Kel. Do you have anything to say?
Absolutely. So a lot of what I look at in betting NFL and even college football is what the public perception is. And you hit the nail on the head with the Bills here. Everybody's like, oh my God, the Bills are going to be 5-11. This team just made the playoffs last year. Like, everybody pumped the brakes. They're not that bad. Again, going back to what you're saying about the Ravens, I do think Joe Flacco is going to be a little bit improved. Drafting a quarterback always tends to, put a little pressure on the guy. So I think Lamar Jackson is going to put a little bit of pressure on him. But 7.5 with the Bills, I think that's just entirely too many points. You hit the nail on the head too about Andrew Luck and the Colts. I'm concerned that Luck is not going to come out of the gate so hot. We may see some turnovers from both sides of the ball. So I got to agree with you on the over here. And everybody knows that I love Coach Zimmer and the Vikings. 43-22 against the spread. How can you not love this man? Everybody's way too high on the 49ers, especially without McKinnon. And those last undefeated wins by Jimmy G were a little bit, we'll call them fraudulent, so to speak. A lot of those teams didn't need to have a dog in the hunt, so it didn't really matter. He got those wins. Good for him. He's not going to get this one or the cover versus Minnesota.
We are on the same page so far. Let's get into the New York Giants and Jacksonville. And if you listen to our last video, I'm not high on Jacksonville at all, and I actually do like the New York Giants more than most people. They're laying 3 points. They're getting 3 points at home against a Jaguar team that really struggled against the NFC last year. The Giants have weapons. They got, Barkley coming out of the backfield, Odell Beckham. Even Shepard is not a bad wide receiver. Eli Manning, inconsistent, but whenever we're about to write off Eli Manning, he goes and wins the Super Bowl. I like under the total in this game, and I really like the Giants at +3. Tampa Bay going into New Orleans. Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm. New Orleans -9.5. The over and under is 49.5 here. Kelly, I don't know what to do on the total in this game, but I am going to take the Bucs at +9.5. Look, I think their defense is going to be pretty good this year, and they've got weapons everywhere on offense. Mike Evans, top 10 wide receiver in the league. I like their rookie running back. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a game controller. I mean, the Trent Dilfer of this era, if you will. Although he does make a little bit more interceptions. But I'm not really that high on the Saints. I think we're going to see a regression with New Orleans, and I think that number is just too big. I mean, let's be honest. New Orleans is up by 13, 14, 16 points with 2 to go, and the back door is so wide open, it's ridiculous. Then we've got Houston going into Pats land, New England -6, the over and under 50.5. Kelly, this is a tough one. I really like Deshaun Watson. He's got great chemistry with Hopkins. J.J. Watt is back. Clowney, their defense is so stout. New England is really lacking this year in the wide receiver department. We have no Edelman. We've got Hogan at wide receiver. Can you name their next wide receiver? It's literally the Gronk Brady show. They've got nobody coming out of the backfield. James White doesn't run the ball. He's a pass-catching running back. Rex Burkhead doesn't do it for me. I lean on Houston here, but I like over the total more because I actually think Houston is going to be a very high-scoring football team this year. But I'm happy for all of you guys to pass on that game completely. And then we've got Tennessee going into Miami. This is an interesting game, Kelly. Miami at +1. The over and under is 45, and I'll be flat out. I got no bet here. I actually think Tennessee is going to do better than most people think this year. But strangely, I think Miami has a chance to be the second best team in that disaster of a division behind New England. Miami is not as bad as everybody thinks. Who knows what we're going to get with Ryan Tannehill. I think we just lay off that game entirely and wait to see what these teams do next week.
Yeah, so starting with the top, Jacksonville, you're so right. They played horrendous ball against the NFC last year. And I'm not as high on the Giants as you are, Prez, but getting 3 at home, it's going to be the Saquon Barkley show. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of running game here in this one, and I think that's going to eat up a bunch of clock. The Giants are going to get the cover in that one. I was not looking at Tampa Bay until you just mentioned it. Now I'm looking at it going, okay, line open 7. Now it's 9.5. Somebody seems to be really high on the Saints. It's not me, though. I agree with you. I think they have a terrible defense. And while they do have some weapons, and I do think Drew Brees is a great quarterback, 9.5 points is a little high. I do tend to get burnt a lot whenever I play against the Saints, but I may end up being on the Bucs just to pretty much fade the public, because let's be honest, nobody in the public is going to take the Bucs because they don't really realize how much more improved that team's going to be this year. The game you said you didn't know what to do with, I don't know what to do with either. I love trying to find dogs that have a chance to win outright, and I had the Houston Texans circled in this one. Could not pull the trigger, still have not pulled the trigger, don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger. Sometimes when the public tends to like a dog, that tends to be the kiss of death. I do think Houston is far more talented if they can remain uninjured this year. They're going to be a force to reckon with in the AFC South, but I don't know if I'm going to be taking the 6 points with them. Tennessee, I agree, they should be improved this year. Last year, Mariota threw more interceptions and touchdowns, so I'm going to stay off this game until I can see that he's going to be an improved quarterback. And I think that's the right play. I'd like to be on the Dolphins +1. I think the perception of them is pretty low, but for me, right now, it's just a stay away game.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to take that bet, I would take Miami. Now we've got the late games, Kelly, and we'll go through them top to bottom. Kansas City +3 against the Chargers. The over and under is 48 here. Kansas City is a very interesting team this year. Look, they've got Kareem Hunt. Now Spencer Ware is back. Really, really good backfield. They've got a solid wide receiving core. Sammy Watkins, a deep threat, and a good slot receiver. Tyreek Hill, maybe the best deep threat in all of football. Kelsey, potentially the best tight end in football. Him and Gronk, it's 1-2. But we just don't know what's going to happen with their quarterback yet. I don't understand why everybody is so high on this guy. He literally hasn't played any football. But look, he could be the next Joe Montana. Who knows, right? The Chargers, I think, are the team this year. Kelly, I'm actually high on the Chargers this year. Allen at wide receiver, Gordon. I even like Virgil Green as their tight end. I know, strange. He reminds me of the Virgil from the WWE 20 years ago, but that's a different story. I'm going to lean on the under in this game, Kelly. You know what? I think the Chargers win this game, but I think 3 is the right number, to be honest with you. If I had to bet the side, I would take the Chargers. But I like the under here because I actually think both teams are going to rely heavily on the run. I think you're going to see a ton of Gordon and a ton of Hunt. I think the bet in this game is on under the total of 48. Seattle +3 going into Denver, the over and under at 42. Look, I think Seattle is going to struggle to go 500 this year. Their defense is a mess. They've got no running back. Doug Baldwin is their number 1 wide receiver, and he is not a top-tier wide receiver. And Russell Wilson, everybody talks all about him. Kelly, if you go back to the first 3, 4, 5 games of last year, there were some games where Seattle struggled to score more than a field goal in the entire football game. I'm bullish on Denver. I think Denver is a buy team right now. Case McKinnon looking good, great rookie running back in Freeman. They've got an unbelievable wide receiving core, and their defense is phenomenal. I'm going to take Denver minus the 3 in the game, but I do also like under the total of 42. Dallas at +3 going into Carolina. Total is 42.5. I'm a seller on the Cowboys all year long. I'm going to take Carolina -3 here. I just think Dallas is a shell team. They have no wide receivers. They have no tight ends. Their O-line is injured. Dak is, 1 year removed from a good season, and that was only his first season ever. And I don't think their defense is good, and I think their coach is garbage. So I'm going to take the Panthers in this game. I have nothing for you on the total. And then we've got Arizona. Pick them against Washington with the over-under at 44. I'm not going to give you much on this game. This is a move away from game. Let's see what Alex Smith-led Washington team is all about. But I do actually like Washington's defense. Now they also, it'll be interesting to see about their running game. And I can't make heads or tails in Arizona. I got both those teams are wait and see. And then we've got the Sunday night game with the Bears at +7.5 against the Pack. And, Kel, I don't know how you don't take the Bears here. This is a big number for a team that potentially has the best defense in football. And not only do they have maybe the best defense in football, they have nobody really to key on in this game except Rodgers. Devontae Adams is the number 1 wide receiver on Green Bay. Come on, is that a joke? Their running back is Jamal Williams, Ty Montgomery, Aaron Jones in 3 games from now because he's injured. They don't have an incredible running game. They have no wide receivers. Jimmy Graham, a tight end. The last time Aaron Rodgers threw a ball to a tight end, he was probably playing in college. I don't get this line at all, to be frank. Do I see Green Bay winning? Sure. Tie game, 2 minutes to go. They march down the field, kick a field goal, win the game. But I'm all over the Bears at +7.5.
Yeah, so the first 3 games I think we're pretty much on par with. I don't know what to make of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. As far as what I've heard out of camp, he throws a ton of interceptions. Maybe he's just helping the defense practice. But that being said, I don't want any part of a guy that's going to throw 3 interceptions to that Chargers defense. That's what scares me there. That being said, I think the number's right with the Chargers -3, so I'm staying off that one. Broncos. Prez, I was going to stay off this game, but you're just tugging at my heartstrings here, telling me that I think everybody knows I'm a Broncos fan. I try not to bet them unless they get on a hot streak, and they do look like the right side here. I will agree with you on the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks are maybe going to be as bad as people think they are. I think they're going to be right in par with San Fran, but going to Mile High, getting 3 points, I don't want any part of it, so I'll probably be on the Broncos as well. And like we talked about in the other video, Dallas Cowboys, terrible defense. Besides Cole Beasley, name a wide receiver. Ezekiel Elliott now is down 2 O-linemen. They're going to stack the box against the guy. Panthers, guess what? Cam Newton is a very, very good quarterback. He doesn't get enough credit. Laying only 3 with Cam, I may have to back him here. This game, like you said, I'm staying away from. Sam Bradford has his moments if he's not hurt. The Cardinals, a lot of people are really low on. The Redskins, people are getting some back and forth. I think you're right. I think it's a stay-away game, and we just kind of see what each team is actually made of instead of trying to waste some money on a coin flip. But Bears at Packers Sunday night, when it was 8.5, before they got Khalil Mack, I was going to be all over the Bears. Line now drops to 7.5. Khalil Mack, sure, he can be worth.
Same number.
There's
no difference between them.
Agree, but he can be worth a point on paper to me. That makes sense. But you're right. I don't see how people aren't on the dog here. There is a little bit of revenge factor for the Pack. You're right. Gun to head, I got to take the Bears.
Monday Night Football, Kel, New York Jets plus 6.5 going into Detroit. Over and under is 45. Kelly, I can't bet this game. If I had to, I would take the Detroit Lions. But, man, that team is inconsistent. One week they put up 40. The next week they put up 17. The New York Jets, rookie quarterback, no wide receivers, no running game, decent defense. I'm sorry. I know you listeners want to bet these Monday Night Football games. I got nothing for you on that game. And then the Rams against Oakland. The Rams are minus 4.5 going into Oakland. The over and under is 49. You know, I'm so high on the Rams. Like, honestly, Kelly, if there was a way I could roll the Rams in some zigzags, I would actually smoke them right now with you. This team is unbelievable on every side of the ball, even sideways, if you will. I think the Rams are the play here, but I'm leery. You know, Gruden is a good coach. He's had a lot of time to prepare for this team. I'm going to take over the total of 49.5. That's really it for the presidential NFL opening line report. Have you got something quickly to add on those two games?
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't back the Jets with a rookie quarterback. We got to see what we see. I think Matthew Stafford is actually a great quarterback. If he could just get a running game going at some point in time to save, any kind of face, that life would be great. I'm not laying a touchdown with him to open the season. One thing I do love to bet is the primetime home dogs. They haven't done so well this last couple of years. We've seen a lot of favorites covering. The last one I actually bet was the Rams laying 2.5 in San Fran last year. I had the 2.5 with San Fran, landed on 2. I think I'm going to be on the Raiders and hope the same thing happens. Obviously, I'm not touching it till kickoff. There's no way this line's coming back down. It's 4.5 right now. It's probably going to stay right there. So I'll take the 4.5 with the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Can I see the Raiders winning outright? Sure. With that said, the Rams are going to win 11 games this year. Kelly, we're going to do this every week. The videos will obviously be a little longer because we want to hear your thoughts as well. Guys, make sure to go to WagerTalk.com. Use my promo code NFLPrez99. You get a month of my NFL plays for $99. I think really, Kelly, the biggest takeaway of this video is if you're feeling old, feeling ugly, feeling sad, and you're in the middle of a midlife crisis, get divorced. Please comment. Guys, please comment on these videos. I respond to every one of your comments. Catch me on my Twitter, Prez WagerTalk. And Kel, finish the show for us.
Absolutely. Always a great time with Prez. He's got to rep his Toronto Maple Leafs jersey even though hockey season doesn't start for another month. That being said, every single week, check out all of our videos on WagerTalk.com. They're going to be up on our YouTube channel so you guys don't miss any. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also give us a couple likes. Share with your friends.